Hey guys, I'm all back again. Welcome to day 8 in life of the Google Pixel Fold. Today I'm going to talk about some more of my additional thoughts on this phone. One thing that's missing from the Google Pixel Fold is a desktop mode. Samsung offer it in the form of Samsung DeX. Motorola does as well. It is called, I still forget the name to this day, something that's really not easy to remember. Here we go, or Real One, or something like that. But regardless, desktop mode is the ability to connect your phone to a monitor and you can get a desktop experience on that. I think it's nice in theory. I honestly never use it, but it is something that I do want to point out that is missing on the Pixel phone compared to Samsung phone. Samsung phone got a bunch of features and softwares like that. Take advantage of it. It would be pretty cool. But if not, if you just want stock Android, something that is very simple and basic, unfortunately the Google Pixel Fold does not have any desktop mode. And Samsung have a lot of cool features built in if you're into multitasking. They have this thing called app pairs. So it would just automatically pair certain apps together. Whatever ones you use the most, you can customize it. For example, you can pair Google Maps with music together. That would seem to go hand in hand pretty well. Or maybe if you're browsing on one side and Messenger on the other side, if that's your thing, you can do that. Once again, it's one of those things that is nice to have, but I don't really use. But I do want to point that it is missing on the Google Pixel Fold. I'm not a big multi-window guy. I probably use it every once a week or once every 2 weeks at most. And it's rarely that I ever need to do split screen for anything or app pairings. But that is missing from the Google Pixel Fold. And even when this phone is folded up, not that small as you think, I try to keep all my apps at the bottom so it's easier for one-handed use. I only have one hand available. Sometimes you still have to do some finger gymnastic and bend your phone down to reach the top of the screen, especially some of your apps are up there. So that's something you would notice when you're using this phone, and with it, the phone being so heavy and you're holding a baby in one hand, the phone on the other hand, the baby's heavy, the phone is heavy. Sometimes you have to tilt your phone too much, it may fall, so it's just something to be aware of. And some of the cool features on Pixel phones, they started having it since the Pixel 6 or 7, is I like all these software integration for actually making phone calls, even though I don't really talk a lot on the phone these days. But it's nice when you have to call into a hospital or something, they have to go through the answering system. Is able to basically transcribe all the options. You can just select it from the screen. That is pretty useful. But by default, none of these options are actually turned on. So you have to go into the phone, hit the triple dot at the top right hand corner, go into the settings. So we just turn on that call assistant, and I don't even know what the names are. I just know what the feature is. So you basically have to turn both of these things on. The first one's more like the screen calling. If somebody call you, do a Google screening. And that way you can let Google pick up the phone, and if it's a real person, they will answer correctly and stay on the line. For the most part, whenever I get a spam call, they eventually just hang up. They at least saved me time of picking up and saying hello. So the spam filtering is pretty cool. And I see this little save option. I haven't tried it yet, but I just turned it on for now and see how it goes. I always wonder what it sounds like on the other side afterwards, so I'm curious if this is actually going to save some of the records behind the scene. If I can go in and listen to it, I think that'll be pretty fun. And for Google, I know like the alarm app, you can, whenever the alarm turn on, you can yell at it, stop, to say stop. Something that I think it would be cool to have is whenever a phone come in, if I can say answer or pick up, it automatically pick up to speaker. That would be nice. I actually tried doing it. I think that's because I was holding a baby in one hand, I was feeding the ball the other hand, zero hand access to my phone. I guess in those situations, it might be nice to have a smartwatch. I always liked the idea of smartwatches, but I never found it to be useful, and so maybe there's a case for that. I guess in a situation where you have zero hands free, it would have been nice to at least have some additional functionality there where you can just tell the phone to pick up. That's something I would like to see Google add in the feature drops down the line. And something I've been experimenting with lately is finding an alternative Google Maps application. So I did a quick Google search for alternatives map for alternative Google Maps. First one I tried was the TomTom, but I didn't like it because you have to pay. I'm not trying to pay for free maps when practically they're all free. I didn't really like Maps.me either. I think you might have had to pay as well, or the UI or something like that. I downloaded it, but I just encountered some frictions. I ended up not using that. Next on the list is OpenStreet. It was not user friendly for me either, so I did not like it either. And after that, I tried the Amigo Maps, and it's pretty solid for the most part, but there was one route it made me do some crazy detour, and that is enough for me to turn me off. I feel like if I understand the road really well and I know the most efficient way when maps try to take me some crazy ways, I don't really like that. This is the main reason why I'm trying to find alternative apps compared to Google. But I do like to have the ability to see traffic, report if there's like objects on the road, accidents or anything like that. So that's why I do like to turn on maps even though I know where I'm going. Currently, I'm trying the Here We Go app. So far, it's been okay. Initially, they have this thing default on where it will beep really loud if you go over the speed limit. So speed limit is 25, you're going 30, it will beep like there's no tomorrow. So you have to go into settings and turn that off, but if you don't, super annoying and frustrating. By the way, I turned that off and we'll see how it goes. So yeah, this is currently at day 8 with this phone, just hanging out at home, watching YouTube, taking pictures of my kid, trying to use it with one hand whenever I can. Overall, I still enjoy it throughout the day, just having a large screen when I'm doing chores. I can watch videos. The battery life could be better though. I feel like I'm only getting 10 to 12 hours these days, whether I use a phone a lot. I always end up having to charge it towards the end of the day. But there you guys have it. This wraps up day 8 in the life of the Google Pixel Fold. Let me know if you have any thoughts, questions, any other areas you want me to cover, any questions that you have. Please check out my 1-week review if you haven't already. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.